can $100,000 and 6 developers fix the Luna Terra ecosystem? That's the question we have in front of us. And I have to tell you that these developers call themselves the Six Samurai, with the names of Bilbo Baggins and Solid Snake amongst them. I think I would answer no. The odds are incredibly against you in fixing this whole project. Just to go back in time a little bit, not too long ago, just a little bit over a year, Terra collapsed in one of the biggest wipeouts in cryptocurrency history. After that collapse, there was some efforts to fork the chain and continue to develop the chain itself. And a lot of developers sort of stuck in the past trying to build this thing up. If you look at the price of Terra Luna, it's down from $120 high. It's now trading well below in the sub pennies. Not a lot going on there. But these 6 developers think that they can probably fix the ecosystem, and they need about $100,000 over the next 3 months to get that going. Zach, we've seen a lot of comeback stories in crypto. This one's probably a long shot of a long shot. Are you on the side of the Samurai 6?
I mean, if anyone can do it, it's Bilbo Baggins. Am I right? I mean, he's going to be able to just knock this out, and I'm hopeful that they can do it. They're trying to accomplish something that doesn't really often get executed, right? Like Ethereum Classic still persists, but it attracts far less developer activity and usage than Ethereum, which forked off and did its own thing after the DAO hack, I think of 2016. So there are some comeback stories in crypto. Very often are they associated with these sort of classic approaches to what existed in the past, and I think the odds are stacked against them, right? Terra, arguably, like, even without the the death spiral of Luna and UST, like Terra at the time like had a pretty vibrant ecosystem, right? It had critical mass, largely because of the Anchor protocol, where people were already getting this unsustainable, in some cases, unreal yield on some of their assets through that protocol, right? It had the critical mass. It had some cool usage. Like, it was fun to play with. There was like a burgeoning like NFT scene and all the other things that happen on chain when these networks reach a certain size. But clearly all that was just decimated, blown away, blown to shreds in the wake of the collapse itself. So comebacks are possible in crypto. Reviving old brands in crypto is quite hard. So I would say, like, maybe just do another Cosmos SDK chain and start fresh. Sure, there's some value to the assets that you have, but it's going to be really difficult to, I think, attract, again, another vibrant community that can get that critical mass where cool stuff happens, where that network effect kicks in. And I think that's probably the toughest thing that they face, rather than some of the technical challenges that they document in this governance proposal, which is a quite interesting document and quite interesting statement in terms of what they're seeking to build. But I think, like, again, getting that network effect and getting that critical mass can be quite difficult for some of these projects that are looking to sort of revive these zombie brands. But hey, who knows? They might be able to do it. Jen, what do you think?
I am also hopeful that they're able to do it. I love the developers' names. Like you said, Zach, I think that the brand piece is going to be the biggest hurdle to overcome, but I think it can be done. We've seen it done in crypto before. I mean, a fan favorite project on the hash, Pudgy Penguins, overcame some shady leadership. New leadership came in. The project is thriving. I know we can't really compare these two projects, but I think that is one case where the brand was able to persist with new leadership, new developers, and the community was able to continue thriving. I think that where they may hit another roadblock is with regulation. So they want to revive the UST stablecoin. I think they're calling it, I'm not sure if they're calling it UST still or if they're calling it USTC. But I think that once the regulators hear about that, once that comes to fruition, I know it's going to be like a totally different model. They're going to look to fix some of the things that went wrong with UST. I think that the regulators may perk up and say, you know, this failed in the past. Billions of dollars were lost, and this cannot happen again. And so I think that that's going to be the biggest roadblock. I think the brand can make it. And I'm cheering these developers on and hoping that they can bring something to life. I think that their hearts are in the right place.
That's an interesting take. I mean, at what point is it grifting when you're working on a dead project and you're asking for $100,000 over a 3-month period? I think if you're working in an empty town or a dead town like this, you're asking for a lot of money, you shouldn't get paid for it. So I sort of hope that these sort of things actually kind of strike off and people quit on them. I think the history of blockchains is that once there's a huge catastrophic failure and people don't rally around it immediately, then it's gone. You don't really see things burgeon after that. So Bitcoin's had a history of, some things have gone wrong. There have been like hard forks in the past, like way back in Bitcoin's history. There's been like bugs in it, but people have rallied around it because it had that network effect and because they responded to it well. Terra, on the other hand, I mean, if you look at the chart, it's just absolutely brutal. So I don't think there's a comeback from it. It's been over a year since this whole development. And I think it's just people who know that, there's a little money to be made here and they can get some money out of like a dead project and try to do it. We've seen it with a lot of other projects. So that is my take on it.
$100,000 for 6 people isn't that much money, though. I feel like this is like a passion for them.
For 3 months of work.
Yeah.
So it's not like crazy amounts of money, Jen, but it's also like, what's the point of this, right? What's the ambition here? I don't know.
Start fresh. They should just start fresh. Honestly, they should just start fresh, do what they can do. But hey, the dream will never die of the decentralized stablecoin. The algorithmic stablecoin dream will never die, and USTC will be the next attempt, it seems.